You're nobody.
Good morning, guys. It's morning for me. Welcome back to my podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. You guys, we've made it. It's officially episode number 2. Wow. Look how far we come. And great news, guys. We are the number 1 podcast on Spotify. It's Joe Rogan. Oh yeah, it's Joe Rogan. It's actually not really us, but that's okay. You know, we can dream. We can dream. Anyways, happy Thursday. Welcome to the podcast. I'm so excited that you guys are here. Don't forget to rate and subscribe because it really helps you guys. If you guys just kind of, if you're on Apple Podcasts, if you could just go to the scroll down to the little bottom, give a little 1, 2, 3, or 4, or 5 star, whatever you like. It really helps me kind of just boost it to get my podcast out there. That being said, I did want to give a quick little thank you to the people that listened, to reached out to me personally for my podcast. I'm gonna check my camera to make sure that I'm recording because now I'm paranoid from last time. Boom, recording. Yay. So I just wanted to say a quick thank you to the people that reached out to me last episode, which honestly, thank you so much for listening, to whoever did listen to it. And if you didn't listen to this one and if you didn't listen to the last one, you're listening to this one, thank you. But yeah, thank you Araceli, Michelle, Jess, Evelyn, Dee, my Aunt Maria, and my little sister, specifically my little sister. She's so cute. She called me and she's like, my little sister's not about like podcasts. She probably doesn't even really know what podcasts are. And she reached out to me and she primarily speaks in Spanish. And she was like, I listened to it. It was so good. Oh, you had me feeling this type of way. So it really struck a chord. But yes, thank you to my little sister and to everybody that reached out. You guys have no idea what this means to me, especially doing it on my own. It's a little intimidating because you're like, fuck, I gotta entertain these people for like how long? It was much easier when I had co-hosts. But anyways, again, thank you so much. And as always, we're gonna jump on in. Oh, also, really quickly, look, I don't know what kind of podcast you listen to. The ones that I listen to primarily are Smartless, which is it's just like a super funny podcast which includes these 3 actors, and then they kind of just bring on A-list celebrities. They just kind of fanboy over them. It's a really entertaining one. I also listen to Crime Junkies, of course, and The Sip with Ryland Adams and Lizzie. I don't know her last name. But anyways, those are my top 3 podcasts. Lately, I've been listening to The Real Ones. And that podcast, holy crap, like such a good name, The Real Ones, because they keeping it real over there. And I want to give a special, look, I want you guys to listen to this episode that I listened to. It's The Real Ones, and I believe by the time I put this out here, it'll probably still be the latest episode. It's episode with a man named Jose Gonzalez, who served a 19-year prison time. It's crazy. He was incarcerated when he was an adolescent, and holy crap, this guy is just. It's strange to think, but he was in prison for 19 years for murder, and the way he speaks he's such a smart guy, first of all, and it was just so entertaining. I think it's like a 2-hour episode, but it was entertaining all the way through. So you guys go listen to that episode. It's so good. So that's my little special shout out, and I'm sure The Real Ones podcast does not need my 3 viewer shout out, but still, it makes me feel good when I give credit where it's due, and that show is so good. All right, let's jump right into the sayings, because, as last week, I kind of said what sayings I heard that week that I liked and they stood out to me, and I would like for you to hear them too. And I'm sure some of these you've heard them. I've heard some of these as well, and then they just kind of like one ear out the other. You're scrolling through social media, wherever you may see it, and then that's that. First saying, here it is, and this one's kind of cheesy, but it's so true at the same time. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Is that not true? I mean, sometimes we're just so scared to do things from the age of being little kids, whether it may be you develop on a crush on a person and your friends are kind of egging you on like, come on, come on, come on. Hey, you know what? You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Go talk to that person. And then as we get older, obviously these things that we're afraid of, they progress as far as, I don't know, substance. They become greater and a lot more difficult. But still, you should go and shoot your shot with that dream goal, whatever it is. Second one. And this one, okay, if you ever watched that TV show, The Circle, the season 1, I think we all equally fell in love with Shuby. He was just like such a sincere dude who was on the show, and he was just so entertaining all the way through. I really wish he would have won, but I was so happy that for the person that did win. I'm not going to spoil it if you haven't seen it. The Circle, Netflix. But he said, it's pretty much these people locked up in a room. I'm not going to give the whole storyline of the show, but you're locked up in a room for God knows how many days. So they get a lot of little snippets of people talking to themselves, just kind of as you do when nobody's around. And he ended up saying this. He said, life is oh wait, no, that wasn't his. He says, the biggest risk anyone can take is to be yourself and let the world know it. And the way he said it was just so, like, he was building up, I don't know, just a lot of energy when he said it. He's like, yeah, and the biggest risk anyone can take is to be yourself and let the world know it. And that is so true. You should just be yourself. Who cares? I remember one time at band camp, we were with my uncle, one of my uncles, and one of his sons was like, Dad, yeah, I'd consider you like a weird guy. And he got kind of offended. He was like, what do you mean weird? Like, what does that even mean? He's like, I don't know, you're just like a weird dude. But in that moment, like, I didn't interject in the conversation. I just kind of like was listening to them kind of go back and forth about this. And I was just like, I don't think that's like a bad thing to call somebody weird. Like, I'm pretty sure a lot of people think I'm weird. My little sister Grace, I think she's like, a lot of people, I think she's like weird, but like in the cutest way ever. She's just so funny. So yeah, the biggest risk you can take is to be yourself and let the world know it. So if you're called weird, who cares? And last but not least, this one's kind of like cheesy, but life is what happens when you're busy making plans. Which is so true. Yes, we have all these goals and things we'd like to fulfill and, do. But, sometimes it's good to just live in the moment and take a break. Because life is literally what's happening when you're making plans. So yeah, those are my 3 little sayings that I heard this week that I thought were really cool and I enjoyed, and I thought I could share them with you so that you can enjoy them as well. All right, on to the next topic. So I just wanted to, these are just little things that kind of happened during my week, and I'm like, gotta talk about that because the world needs to know how I feel about this topic, even if they don't care about it. Mind you, I work from home. I stay home 24/7. I don't leave this house unless it's going to Target or to go get coffee or fast food. We're not gonna talk about that. I don't leave this house. So like, my eye to the world is social media, as probably it is yours as well. Anyways, let's talk about Dave Bautista. Dave Bautista, if you don't know, was I don't think he's doing it anymore, but he was a pro wrestler in, I believe, the WWE, who has recently transitioned into acting. Now, I personally am not a fan when people transition careers. I guess, I don't know, I kind of just think of it as like a slap in the face. It's like if, I don't know how to I'm going to try to figure out really quickly okay, so it's like this whole AI thing, right? You know how there's like this huge phenomenon about the whole, you go on a TikTok, you take a picture and the AI generates it, and then there are these artists like busting their butt off in the background, like trying to make these AI images, and they're pretty much getting ripped off. Well, that's kind of what I think when like specifically people that are quote unquote celebrities, or just kind of in the world's eye, that are not actors or not singers, and they transition into vice versa. However, I have become a big fan of Dave Bautista. I think we need to watch out, because I actually think this man is a pretty good actor. I mean, from Guardians of the Galaxy, he had kind of it was a big role. I mean, he was one of the bigger there was a million superheroes, but if you know, you know. He didn't have a lot of lines, and his character was kind of like he's supposed to play that maybe not so smart character. But it was entertaining. I was just like, oh my God, the little bit of lines that he does have, I like it. And then I started seeing more and more movies of him pop up, and I'm just like, okay, look, I don't want anybody to come and kill me for saying this, but I have never been this is gonna get controversial. I'm just kidding. I've never been like the biggest fan of Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and I'm not comparing him, but like, holy crap, this man has like he's in every movie left and right, and every time I see him, I'm just like, you are the same man in every damn movie. You're this animated person. Why? Go take an acting class, pay attention, and I think you could be something, Dwayne. And that's the difference again, I'm not comparing, but Jesus, it's hard not to. They're both from WWE. Dave Bautista, I'm convinced this man took some good acting classes wherever he did. Shout out to those acting classes, or acting coach if it was a one-on-one. You have done well, darling. You've done well, because Dave Bautista, I respect you. If you watch that movie Glass Onion Knives Out, such a good movie. His characters, he has a lot more lines in it, and it's a good movie. So yes, Dave Bautista, shout out to him. I like him. What do we think? Do we like him? I like him. Okay, next. Okay, this one's y'all know, if you know me, I'm obsessed with crime junkies. I watch Forensic Files, First 48. I watch all that stuff when I'm alone. I'll watch it in the mornings. I'll watch it at night. I get paranoid. I get freaked out. Right now, as we speak, you guys, my boyfriend, he's out of town. He's in Utah skiing. So when he's not here, I put up a chair against the door in the backyard, like old school way. Because I'm like, well, if the intruder tries to break in, I will hear him, and that will delay him, and that will give me enough time to call the cops or get out. I don't know, but I'm convinced it works. Anyways, this is how it correlates with my story. There's this neighbor that I have. He's our direct neighbor. He just moved in, young guy, probably can't be more than like 35 or something. He's like a quiet dude, and he normally gets home at around like 11:30 every night. And the only reason I know this is because our master bedroom is directly next to his driveway, so we can see his lights. Like when we're in bed, we can see his car pull up, and he gets out, does his thing, whatever. And his car has not moved since Christmas. It was either like slightly before Christmas or slightly after Christmas. It's been like 3 weeks, people, okay? Is he dead inside? I don't know. And I was just like, what am I going to do? How am I going to figure this out? I don't smell a crazy stench. I don't smell anything. Like, you know how they say there's what, I try to look in his car to see if maybe he died in his car and he was just sitting there the whole time. But he has like the world's darkest tinted windows on the face of this planet, so I'm like, okay, well, there's that. Plus, I don't want to look like a creep snooping around through his house. You guys, there's something wrong with me. Anyways, so it's like, I have his number, but like, how do I text him without being like hey, I haven't seen you for a while, your car hasn't moved, what's going on? Like, without being like that old cat psycho lady. Not all cat ladies are psycho. That's not what I meant. So I texted him and I was like, hey, I noticed your car hasn't moved for a while. Just want to make sure everything's okay. Happy holidays. An hour goes by, 2 hours go by, 3 hours go by. Mind you, I'm like, this man's dead. This man is dead, and this is what it is. And then he finally texts me at like 10 p.m. and he's like, hey, Krystal. He's like, hey, Krystal, I'm on holiday. Thank you for checking up on me, though. Happy holidays. And I was just like, okay, I'm glad you're alive. And I'm just like, Krystal, mind your business. It's true when they say mind your business, because mind your business. But you know what? Like, what? I'm starting to think, like, what if he wouldn't have responded? Like, how would that have ended? How much further would I have gone? Would I have called to get a wellness check? I don't know. Anyways, people, I guess that goes to say, don't be a nosy neighbor like me. But a neighbor, shout out to you because you're alive. Okay, and then my next thing is my job, y'all. Okay, I just want to talk about my job really quickly because shout out to my job. I just wanted to say, I started working where I'm working at November 14th of 2022, which was like 2 months ago, which is also my birthday, so maybe I should have taken that as a good sign. Anyways, I actually really enjoy where I'm working at right now. The last place that I worked at, whoa, I'm stretching my back. My back is tight. It's a little tight. I didn't mean for this to be on the episode, but it is tight, y'all. Yeah, so my last job, I didn't like, God, I was miserable, okay? The company was great, good pay, which is why I stuck around for that whole little year. But I just couldn't do it anymore, you guys. It was like, look, I was working with attorneys all day, literally all day. And I mean like top dog attorneys. And then, of course, whatever that entailed. And I just started noticing that it was starting to make me negative. I would like clock out crying. I'm like, I don't work anymore. Like, I don't even care how much I get paid. I'll go work at Starbucks. No shade to Starbucks. I love Starbucks. Look, last episode you heard what you heard. Anyways, so now I was like, whatever, I'm leaving. And now I work at my new job and I'm just like, this is so lax. Like the responsibility, I obviously still have that responsibility. I used to work full-time from home for the last job, but it was hybrid. It was like 1 week in office, 1 week not. And now currently I'm working full-time remote until the new office opens in April, but still it's only going to be 2 days a week. Actually that's more than 1 week coming in a month. That just hit me. Anyways, I'm just so happy on my new job, and I guess my point here is, if you're not happy where you're currently working, don't work there. Literally, it's not worth it. Like, life is so short, and I don't want you to sit there remembering, yeah, I'm busting my back for this company for 15, 20 years, and they're not like compensating you the way you should be. It's affecting your mental health. Just get out of there. Get out of there. I promise you, it's just not worth it. Unless you're like, I don't know, the president of America. It's just not worth it. Yeah, get out of there, because ultimately I'm so much happier now. I don't know what it's gonna be like in a few months or a year. I don't want to jinx anything, but I'm happy, and I'm just going to, I'm happy, and I just want to give a little shout out to that. Okay, next topic. Okay, in my main topic, which, holy crap, I'm so excited for this. But before we get into that, guys, my last little rapid topics here. Yesterday, I was scrolling through TikTok. The TikTok, that app that all the children are on, including me, myself, and I was scrolling through TikTok, and I was watching this girl's video, and she was telling a story of how she got pulled over, and she was like kind of like building up the voice to cry, and she was like, yeah, you guys, I got pulled over, and the first thing that came to my mind was like, oh my god, if I get arrested, I'm not even hot enough to end up on mugshotties. And I was like, what is mugshotties? I guess mugshotties is this website where people have, I guess, I don't know who is in charge of that. I didn't do much in research. I just got real excited and I was like, let me search this up. I don't know who's running this website or who, whatever. I guess people vote if you're hot enough to make it to mug shouties. I think it's primarily females. I didn't see any male ones, but there could be like male mug shouties out there. And I was like, okay, let's see. I go and I was like, damn, these are some mug shouties. Like, whoever's out here voting for these women, like, they are actually really attractive women. I'm just like, I'm almost like, release them based on their looks. Some of them are in there for homicide, and I'm like, release them. Their beauty needs to be out. No, but they are pretty attractive women. Like, I was watching this dude. He put like about 6 women, and he's like, all right, my top choice is the number 4, then it's number 2. And I caught myself sitting there watching this damn video, voting with him. I'm like, God, how horrible of me, honestly. Just sitting here voting on but they're all technically mugshotty, so they're all technically already attractive in themselves, so it's just who's the hottest. So I was sitting there voting with him, and I was just like, oh my God, what am I doing? I was just like, Krystal, stop, get out of this. But anyways, I just wanted to talk about that really quickly because I found that to be hilarious. So on really quickly to my next topic. Oh, also, again, well, actually, no, before I say this. Okay, on to my next topic. So I kind of wanted to make this like a little segment of mine where you guys submit your crazy stories, whether it's like a cool love story, a sad story, a crazy, crazy story that's you experienced, obviously. And as always, they will be said anonymous on the podcast, which you can submit it to TheKrystalKalinaPodcast at gmail.com. Submit your story so I can read it here. We could laugh together. Maybe we could have some tips for you, or maybe I am like, damn, I want to go do that too. So yes. So I have a crazy story of myself, but I also got a submission. So I'm like, which one do we read? I mean, which one do we tell? Do we tell my story or do we tell a submission story? And I think, what the heck? If we're getting submissions already, then let's read the submission story. So I just officially voted right now as we speak. Okay? So I read this last night, but I also didn't want to get like too crazy into it because, I wanted it to be, So, here we go. Grab some drinks. Speaking of, let me take a sip of my coffee really quickly. I know that's probably like so unprofessional, but that's good. That's good coffee. Also, are we all becoming just slowly baristas from home? I noticed that I'm starting to buy so much coffee equipment. And I'm like, what's going on here? I bought the frother. I was given a bean grinder. I mean, I bought chai. I bought matcha. I don't even know what matcha is, but it's trending. So I was like, eventually I'll try it. I have all these crazy different coffees, 3 different versions of instant coffees. It's getting weird, you guys. It's getting very weird. And if we're on the same boat, let me know. I don't want to be the only psycho coffee addict out here. And it's not even that I'm addicted to coffee. It's just like the purchasing of the equipment is starting to become an addiction. Do you get what I mean? Like, I'm not drinking coffee 24/7, but I'm buying coffee equipment 24/7. It's getting weird. Anyways, back to our submitter's story. Excuse me, y'all. I had to clear my throat. Okay. Let me catch my breath, y'all. You guys, I've been going for walks at night. They're not paying off. Okay, so this story is called A Crazy Night. It sounds scary, but it's not. It's actually, excuse my language, fucking hilarious. So shout out to the submitter. So yes, it's called A Crazy Night. Here we go. Saturday night, I was going out with some coworkers for my birthday. And one of my coworkers knew one of the bouncers. Hey, we all know what benefits come from that. So we were able to get in pretty quickly. And so we were drinking, having fun. Then we go and get a couple of drinks, and dance for a while. The night comes to an end, and my coworkers, and we're ready to go. So I look down at my phone, and I remember they were in front of me. So it appears she lost her friends, and she was like trying to figure out what was going on. So she looked down at her phone, or he, and I remember they were in front of me, and I looked back up. Y'all, what? There's a lot going on. Anyways, okay. And I look in front of me, and I look back up, and they were completely gone. Her friends were completely gone. So I try to look for them, but I don't see them. I go on my phone. I try to call a couple people that I knew, but no one was answering at this time. I can't see anything because I'm drunk. So this girl's at the club, or this person's at the club with their coworkers. And look, I already have questions. Are we close to these coworkers? Because we all know how that can go. If we don't know each other all that well, are we gonna be looking out for each other if we get crazy sloppy drunk? I mean, I think I would, but we don't know. Just because we would doesn't mean everybody else was. So it sounds like this person was, I keep saying she, we're just gonna say she. It was a she, okay? It's still anonymous, but it was a she. So she was out with her coworkers. The good night's coming to the end. Things are slowing down. She's trying to look for her friends. She doesn't know where they're at. She's now kind of what appears to be frantically calling them. I'm not trying to laugh. So I don't see them. I go on my phone and I try to call a couple of people, but no one answers. By this time, I cannot see anything. I was trying to request an Uber, and they're obviously $75 because it's 2 a.m. and it was a busy area. So I start crying and freaking out. Oh my God, I'm not laughing, I promise. Okay, and yes, Ubers are super expensive at that time. Holy crap, inflation. Also, Arizona. So, and it's 2 a.m. How scary. I mean, are we scarce on Ubers at this time? Probably. They're probably all one trip to take somebody home, and then they're we're done. I'm not going back for more people at the club. Poor girl. So she's 2 a.m. It was a busy area. I start crying and freaking out because clearly there's no Ubers. Then this guy comes up to me and he asks, hey, what's wrong? And I let him know that my friends left me and that I'm trying to get an Uber. So he starts telling me that he can help me get an Uber. And in my head, I'm thinking, oh, he's being kind enough to request an Uber for me so I can get home safe. Pause. What? Yes and no. What? No. Just because somebody is being kind, I don't care if it was a woman. Yeah, no. Just because someone's being kind enough to get you an Uber, we don't know how this could end, girl. I'm already afraid for this person. It could have ended super hilarious night. I don't know. Or it can end really badly. But let's continue. So in my head, I start thinking, oh, he's being kind enough to request an Uber for me so I can get home safe. The Uber comes and I go inside. And then I see that he goes inside as well. So then I start freaking out kind of because, I'm drunk and there's a random guy in the car with me. So immediately, I let the Uber know where I live, and I remember throughout the ride, I kept reminding the Uber, you're only going to drop me off, and the guy is not going to get off with me. Okay, good. So she's taking some sort of yes, she's drunk, she was crying, she couldn't see. She's probably wears glasses or something. She said she couldn't see at the beginning, but she's at least, I don't know, enough in her to be able to let the Uber know, hey, Yes, we're in the car together, but this destination is my address, the first destination anyway, and no, he is not getting off with me. It's just me. Good for you. And just before we get to my house, I puke inside the Uber. What? Girl, extra shout out to her. If she was drunk, like that drunk, like borderline puking level, the last things that came out of her word were like, I'm not with this guy, drop me off at home, puke. Shout out to her. That's all I can say. Okay. I can't. Oh my God. Honestly, screw those coworkers, because I still do not recall this girl ever saying, and by that time, my coworkers were calling me. No, so screw those coworkers. Okay, I'm gonna try not to laugh. Oh, I hate myself. I puke inside the Uber, and the Uber freaks out. He starts telling me, you're gonna have to pay $200 for this. And literally, after I got done puking, I love how she says after I got done puking, the guy was trying to kiss me. What the fuckery? First of all, look, I don't care if it's Megan Fox puking. I'm not even a lesbian, but like we all know she's hot. If Megan Fox is puking, I'm still not gonna try to kiss her after. But you know what? I'm not gonna say men, but some men will be men. So after I got done puking, the guy was trying to kiss me, and the Uber eventually pulls up in front of my condo complex. And the door, I open the door. Oh, no. And the guy opens the door, and he busts ass and runs out. This is chaotic. Oh, my God. I hope you're in your early 20s. Because this is where you get away with shit like this. Okay, so we puked in the car. We arrive at the complex. The guy knows what's being done. They're now probably getting yelled at in the car the whole time. Like, you're going to have to pay $200 for this. So they're probably both equally freaking out. I can imagine. So when they arrive at her complex, the guy, the random stranger at the club, opens the door and he just runs out. He just starts moving. The Uber driver gets out and starts chasing him, and then he fumbles, falls down, and the Uber driver pins him down to the floor. So then I get out of the car, because my house is like right there, with the guy being nearby. Then the Uber has this guy pinned down. This girl's like, screw that, I'm drunk, I just puked, I'm not paying $200. I don't know who the hell this guy is. He just tried to kiss me after I puked. So she takes this opportunity to run out of the car. Then the Uber driver starts running towards me, and I remember I had $20 in my pocket. So I just turn around, and as I'm running, I just throw him the $20, and I let him know, this is all I have. Oh my God. So this girl's like blacked out, shitless drunk. But she still has a good heart, because as she's running towards her home for savior, she's like, damn, dude, I did puke. That's fucked up. I should at least compensate this dude with $20. Like, that's all I have. Like, she had at the core, she has a good heart, obviously. So she throws $20, and the Uber driver is just probably fucking fed up at this moment. Like, get these two psychos out of my car now. So I guess he tells her it's fine. So she's like, I had $20 in my pocket. So I throw him the 20 and I let him know that's all I have. He goes, it was fine. And she goes, so I'm drunk, still having trouble opening the gate to my complex. And as I'm running towards my house, scared out of my mind, I trip on my heels and fall. Start rolling on the concrete or pavement. And so this girl's just like in panic. I can picture this scene completely. She's running out of the Uber, turns around, throws a $20 bill, probably not paying attention, turns back around, boom, fumbles, falls, trips, scrapes her knee. The other dude's probably God knows where on the floor, or probably already running. This is just hilarious. This is the funniest shit ever. And that's how it ends. I'm running towards my house, scared out of my mind. I trip, I fall on my heels. It was a crazy night. Wow. That's I hate to laugh, but that's hilarious. I'm glad she got home safe ultimately, yes, because that could have ended really badly. I mean, come on. You're drunk out of your mind. You go into an Uber who you think had intentions of being a nice dude or a nice person to get you home safely, but clearly this guy's intentions were to hook up. Thankfully, it sounds like in a way the Uber was kind of a hero here. I don't know, because he was like, damn, you're gonna have to pay me $200, and he did listen to her. It sounds like he took her home to her apartment complex, and then the dude busted out, said, I'm not, because at the end of the day, that guy probably did get charged those $200 now that I'm thinking about it, because it's all like through your phone app and stuff like that. So I'm glad. I mean, it's hopefully this guy doesn't know where this girl lives, and he was probably too drunk out of his mind too to not remember where they pulled up at. But yeah, that's crazy. Yes, people, be careful, because just because someone's being nice doesn't mean it could end well. I'm glad that ended up being funny for her. It sounds like she's like, yeah, girl, I tripped, fell, puked, borderline shat myself. I'm just kidding, I threw that in there. But yeah, I'm glad that it ended up being just a crazy night for her and nothing more than that. That's hilarious. Yeah, so you guys I'm just literally picturing this all in my head, and it's funny. But anyways, if you guys have any stories that you want to submit, again, whether it's sad, funny, I don't know, inspiring, that you want to get shared here on the platform, let me know. TheKrystalKalinaPodcast at gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you guys. And as always, thank you so much for listening. Truly, if you made it all the way to the end of this podcast, thank you so much for listening. I'm so happy you guys are here. Truly, this makes me so happy. I feel like I have my own TV show, radio show. I hate to go old school radio show, but I'm just like, damn, this is like my own thing. I'm like my own little, I don't know, celebrity in my mind, but it's cool. It's like my own thing. I run every single part of it, from setting up, from the sound, from the editing. So I love it. I truly, truly enjoy it. And thank you guys so much for listening. Again, you can listen on all platforms, Spotify, Apple, iHeart. I think it's like HBO, Amazon, one of those guys. Alexa, I don't know. Thank you so much for listening. If you wanted to follow me on Instagram, you can, which is just KrystalKalina, and on TikTok as well. I think I'll be posting a lot on TikTok, because I mean, come on, you guys, it's like such a popular platform, and so why not take advantage? If we're wanting to get the word of us out there, then let's do it. So yes, catch me at TikTok on It's KrystalKalina. That being said, thank you guys so much for listening. It's Thursday for me. It is January 12th. By the time you're listening to this, don't worry, it's gonna feel like it's live. I promise I'm there with you. So happy Thursday to you all. And I know it's already January 12th, but yes, still happy New Year, guys. I hope this New Year is going really well for you guys. All right, I'm out of breath again. Jesus Christ, that is like trending in my life. But yeah, thank you for listening to the podcast, and I hope you have a lovely day.